Vamos ver aqui as atualizações dos devs sobre o novo LoL. Florescer espiritual, modo treta e muito mais.
Hey everyone,
Venha.
I'm Paul, aka Pebro.
And I'm Andre, also known as Meddler.
Today is April 1st, and we're back to talk to you all about some of our plans for Season 2. Now, if you haven't seen the two cinematics, you should
Kennzy e Mylon. Parece, galera, olha isso aqui.
probably pause now and go watch them, because we will be referring to them a number of times in this video.
Okay.
Okay.
If you're still here, let's talk spoilers. Last season, we watched everyone's favorite Noxian frenemies, LeBlanc and Vladimir, plan, plot, and scheme. Now we're headed to Ionia to find the powerful weapon they've been seeking. But we're not just going to Ionia. We're arriving just in time for the bloom of the rare Spirit Blossom flowers and the Ionian festival that celebrates them.
Spirit Blossom is one of our favorite thematics, and based on what we've heard from you over the years, it's one of yours too. Also importantly though, it's a canon event in Runeterra, meaning that the festival takes place in Ionia with each bloom. Now with each season, we set out to create distinct thematic experiences that touch almost every aspect of League, from gameplay to skins, a new champion, to a metagame, for example.
So for Season 2 of 2025, we'll be continuing to refine our approach with many of these things and a few other surprises further out.
We do want to save bigger, more disruptive Summoner's Rift gameplay changes for the start of each year, and then tune and iterate on those changes throughout the year so that we're providing a more stable and competitive experience. That means for Season 2 this time, for example, we're putting our focus a bit elsewhere, a lot of it on game modes this time. We do, though, have some meaningful Summoner's Rift changes coming this season still, and we're going to hand over to Riot Froxon now. We'll walk you through those next.
Hey everyone,
Fala,
today I want to
paizão.
talk a bit about the Summoner's Rift gameplay changes that are coming at the start of Season 2. We've heard your concerns about objective overload, so we have some changes that should help find a healthy balance.
É mesmo, mano. Ele já falou um ponto interessante no começo. Tá uma sobrecarga de objetivos o LoL, né, mano? Parece que nem dá pra você respirar. Você tem que tá fightando o tempo pra frente. Já tem que tá lá. Se não vier alguém do seu time, você tá fudido.
In addition to
Vamos
a
ver.
few other adjustments we have coming for Spirit Blossom. First up, Articon. In Season 1, we made changes to Articon's two forms, so you would see Voracious less often than Ruinous. And while we saw a good initial reaction to this change, we still saw some frustration around how often Voracious Articon spawns in pro games and how game warping his buff is. So in Season 2, we're getting rid of Voracious Articon, and he'll have only
Legal. Vão tirar o Atacan na segunda season aí, guys. E a partir de agora ele vai ter uma forma só, aprisionado.
one form, Thornbound. While he won't look different from Ruinous Articon, he will have adjusted rewards.
É só o da GA que estão tirando, é isso, né, guys? Vão tirar só o da GA. Entendi.
In addition to the Bloody Roses,
Vai
the
ter,
team
mas
who
vai
kills
mudar.
Articon receives all unclaimed roses on the map, and all of their bloody petals are purified into spirit petals, which grant 25% increased effect. Additionally, the team will also get a spiritual purification buff for the rest of the game that slows and damages nearby enemies and champion kill, which we think will be a more satisfying effect. Outside of Articon, we also have some adjustments for the Void objectives based on feedback we've seen around objectives driving game pacing, especially before the 20-minute mark. First, we're changing Void grubs to spawn a single time, which will be a bit later in the game.
Uma vez a vacilar virão só ressurgir, velho. Acho que isso tava precisando também, mano. É sério, tava sufocante ficar jogando, velho.
This should allow everyone to focus more on laning and ganking, rather than prioritizing early objectives. We're also moving the Rift Herald's spawn time up to 15 minutes, and making it generally harder to avoid her damage. Another place we've seen a lot of feedback on is the bounty system. One of the main issues is that it sometimes feels like you have a bounty when your team is behind. So we're making the objective bounty system more accurate, which should help bounties feel like they're only on when your team has a lead. Outside of objectives and bounties, we're making a small change to the jungle and support roles. In Champion Select, only junglers will have access to Smite, and it'll be automatically
Falaram isso agora, só jungle vai poder pôr smite, né, mano?
assigned. Additionally, supports will automatically be given World Atlas at load-in. Our goal is to try and reduce certain types of trolling.
Ué, aí o suporte vai receber sozinho o item de sup, é isso? Não vai precisar nem comprar?
And, oops, my team doesn't have Smite lol, lock-in failures. We're adding the ability to swap roles in Champ Select, so you can still ask nicely to trade. And, if you're an unsealed spellbook bard enjoyer, don't worry, you'll still be able to get Smite in-game. We believe the
Mas o livrinho vai poder te dar um smitezinho ainda dentro do jogo, entendi.
ability to do this will discourage the pro play lane swap problem we saw in Season 1, without directly impacting the rest of us normies. Finally, we're replacing Gray Screen with a new Spectator UI, and adding kill streak sound effects that will play for your ears only when you participate in takedowns.
Ó,
We have a dev blog out now that goes into more detail about the gameplay changes that you'll see when you load into the Rift at the start of Season 2, so be sure to check it out.
Hey everyone, I'm just a capybara, a director of product management.
Tamanho do
You can
cara.
call me Drew. League is at its best when you're surrounded by people who are positive and play their best.
É, isso é verdade que ele falou. O LoL fica muito mais divertido quando você joga com gente boa
Who are positive and play.
que dá o melhor de si. Mas e quando não tem, Riot? E quando não tem? Cê é louco, joguei 3 games hoje, 2 foi com um cara desse jeito aí, desagradável. Aí pelo menos teve um gamezinho que foi legal, né?
Their best.
Vamos ver.
When you have someone inting, griefing, or running it down for fun, it just sucks.
Sim, olha lá.
So we're rolling out some updated systems that will better detect and punish people who want to ruin your games.
Starting next patch, we'll have improvements to our
Boa.
griefing detection systems that automatically identify and punish players for soft inting and trolling teammates.
Because some people just want to ruin games, we aren't going to share exactly what the system looks for. But it's built to detect things like running around and not contributing to avoid AFK detection, for example. Additionally, moving forward,
Isso é bom,
when you
né?
receive report feedback, it will include the name of the offender, similar to how the cheating feedback notifications currently work.
We know that this is an area that we really have to get right. We've been doing some tests for the last few patches to make sure our number of false positives is low, and we're confident that we should see very few. We'll also continue to refine this updated system over time, and we'll talk about it again in another dev update.
Further out, there's more work
Muito
we'd
bom.
like to do around smurfing and boosting in particular. That's something that we hope TrueScale 2 can help address, which, as a reminder, is a new matchmaking system that we've been trialing in some regions and modes. We also want to share some numbers from the Vanguard LP refunds that we added in patch 25.6. As of filming, we've refunded over 700,000 LP to over 30,000 unique players who
Caramba.
had a cheater in their ranked game.
And since
Cara, até hoje eu não caí com alguém que tinha hack, galera, e a partida acabou. Já aconteceu isso com vocês, aí? Parece que eles ainda devolvem, restituem o PDL, né, mano? E a partida finaliza. Esse eu nunca vi, não, velho.
then, around
né?
24,000 cheaters have been successfully
Eliminated.
Ah,
That's a lot.
Aside from punishing players who waste your time by ruining games, we also want to take some time to thank all of you who bring positivity to League, whether it's through helpful and friendly comms, grouping for objectives, or just fist bumping each other after a great play. We're also seeing a lot of feedback on the recent changes to the honor system that we're working on. We'll be back later when we have some changes to share here.
We have a lot more details on these changes and some updates on changes we've made over the last few patches in a blog that's out now. So go check it out if you'd like to learn more.
All right,
ok, show.
We want to talk a bit about modes and metagames. Like we've said before, we think it's important to consistently have ways to play League outside of standard Summoner's Rift. So, we'll be releasing a new game mode called Brawl.
Modo
Brawl is
treta.
a 5v5
Olha,
mode
galera.
where you choose your champion, and it's played on a new map set in the whimsical Bandle City. And your objective is simple.
Tá lembrando aquele, tinha um que já era parecido assim, não? Quem lembra? E tava precisando de um modo novo mesmo, hein,
Push your
velho?
minions,
Blitz do Nexus, lembrou muito ele, velho.
enemies base to win, and get rid of
Oh.
anyone who tries to stop you.
No towers, no major objectives, and nothing but your base's health bar to defend. Brawl is intended to be a fun, action-packed mode
Caramba.
for players who want a lower-stakes game or are looking to get their friends into League without having to deal with all the complexity of SR.
Now,
Boa.
games of Brawl have been balanced with snowball mechanics, so while you might be down at some points, you're never truly out, making it perfect for playing with friends of drastically different skill levels.
Whether you're just looking for a fun time trying to play with friends or just want nonstop action, we hope you'll give Brawl a try when it goes live in patch 25.10. We can't wait to see what you think.
Now, if you want to learn
Ele
more
falou que é na 25.10. Essa é a próxima já, será, galera? Ó, 25.7. Acredito que é a próxima, né?
about Brawl, check out the new dev blog that's out now.
Acho que tem mais
Separately,
dois,
though,
pá.
we also want to take a moment to talk about metagames. We're coming off of the Demon's Hand, and we love
Né,
seeing
não,
all
né?
the combos you pulled off. And that's also teaching us a lot about what has and hasn't worked with metagames that we're going to incorporate in future ones.
We will have another metagame coming out in Act 2 of the coming season. As with previous metagames, we're going to keep trying something a bit different each time. All right, we'll hand things over to the Skins team to talk about what they have planned for Season 2.
Hey everyone, I'm Steph,
Opa.
aka 100 Piece Nuggets.
And I'm Tom, or Riot Hylia. Today, we're here to dive into Spirit Blossom and talk about some updates to skins in general.
So there's a lot to discuss, but first and foremost, Spirit Blossom's back, yay! We know you have a lot of fond memories of getting crushed by Cassiopeia and playing tricks with Teemo.
And the contrasting duality of the Spirit Realm just makes for really, really elegant, stunning skins.
Yeah, and this time around, we're actually expanding on Spirit Blossom with even more champions stepping into Ionian folklore. These skins are now a manifestation of the myths told during the festival, like Ashe is the Wandering Queen, who guides souls to...
Nossa, mano, olha essa imagem dessa skin, velho. O bagulho tá lindo, não, guys? É da Florescer, né? Olha isso aqui, velho. Cada detalhezinho, velho. Parecendo os filmes dos estúdios de Bill. Olha.
Spirit Realm.
Fudeu, R$800. Celo.
Or Aurelia, who is Ashe's
Não
ready
compensa.
hand, whose unwavering loyalty led to heartbreak and calamity.
She has so many hands.
No, right? You've got more than she knows what to do with. We've also got Bard, Varys, and my...
Olha o bardo também, velho. Meu Deus, velho. Tá lembrando muito aquele filminho, velho. Balão mágico, não é? Olha. Ficou uma gracinha também, velho.
personal favorite, Zyra, as well as
Deixa eu ver a Zyra. A Zyra tá bonita também. Olha, mas ela tá mais... Vamos dar uma entonação mais malvada, né?
Ivern and Prestige Spirit Blossom Lux,
Olha o Ivory, tadinho, velho. Olha ele.
who will be earnable on the Act 1 paid pass.
Outside of Spirit Blossom,
Cadê a
when we
Irelia?
were looking at skins for Season 2 overall, we took a lot of learnings from Season 1. We want to do a better job at offering a wider variety of skins that are focused on our champion-first philosophy. So in Season 2, we're introducing something we're calling variety skins. Standalone, one-off skins that are either from existing thematics or totally new ones tailor-made for that
Passou, eu não vi,
champion.
né?
The first one will be Pool Party Twitch, which will be
Ô, Twitch curtindo o verão ficou chave também, hein, mano? Cara, o Twitch era um dos bonecos que talvez a Riot podia pensar em dar um reworkzinho nele, não, velho? Cara, mas gostei muito, velho. Tá muito divertida essa skin, né?
earnable on the
Olha.
Act 1 paid pass. And while I'm sure some of you are thinking, you know, what about Twitch Scream's Pool Party? I mean, look at him. He's a little rat and he's got a squirt gun. He would totally cause chaos at the family barbecue.
And we gave him a little Hawaiian shirt.
No, he's so precious. He's a little baby.
He's a baby. So anyways, variety skins will give us more room to just focus on making cool skins for individual champions without needing to build them into an entire grouping of thematic skins.
We're also looking at ways to bundle variety skins together into a looser thematic of sorts, like the recent April Fool's skins. You know, they all have the same core vibe. They're silly, they're goofy, they're fun, but realistically, they could each belong to an individual skin line, like Pool Party
Um segundinho. Já vou lá, rapidão. Voltei, guys, foi mal.
They're goofy, they're fun, but realistically, they could each belong to an individual skin line, like Pool Party or Cats vs. Dogs.
We believe that this is a better balance of skins throughout the Spirit Blossom season than we were able to land with Season 1. So let us know what you think. We want to hear your thoughts on how this lands during Season 2. And
Gostei até
finally,
então, mano, das mudanças.
It's list
It's
time.
list time, yes.
Que lista.
So the next Exalted skin this season will be Morgana. And then for Prestige skins, we'll have Zed on the pass and Aphelios in the Mythic shop during Act 2.
Mas pra
That
falar
about
de
wraps
skin
things up for
agora, né?
us. As always, we would love to hear what you think.
Thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon.
Ok.
Okay, that just about
Eu queria
wraps.
saber mais das mudanças dentro do jogo mesmo, mas atualizou das skinzinhas aí, né? A da Morgana vai ser 1.200, guys. 1.000 não compensa.
Things
velho.
up for today.
Cê é louco.
In case you missed it, Swift Play is now out globally. So be sure to jump in and play a few matches if you haven't already had the chance.
And while you may have recognized quite a few familiar faces in yesterday's cinematic, there is one who may look new. Yanara is our new champion who will be coming out
Ionara, nova campeã,
in Act 2.
guys.
We don't want to spoil more, but we'll be back before then to share more about her and her connection to the Spirit Blossom.
Ionara, mano, e aí? Pelo nome, carinha de que pode ser suporte, pode ser mid, o que vocês acham? Acho que é mid ou sup, não tem como, né?
And then finally, we wanted to share that in May we'll be celebrating another pro who has made his mark on the league. This player will join the Hall of Legends. He's inspired the next generation of
Soupy.
upcoming players, and we can't wait to give him the recognition he deserves.
As always, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the dev blogs, and we'll see you on the Rift.
Until next time.
Valeu, bom vídeo pra dar com ela atualizada. E aí, galera, o que vocês achou, mano? É sup fadinha, certeza, jungle. Muita gente achando que é jungle também. Tomara que seja jungle pra eu poder jogar com ela, hein, mano? Rapaz. Galera, não esquece de deixar o seu like aí e comenta o que você tá achando, beleza? Season 2 preview como será o novo mapa.
Season 2 is the season of Ionia. Summoner's Rift will transform
bonito.
into the world of
Tá
Spirit
bonito.
Blossom.
Olha,
We
legal.
will get a completely new game mode called Brawl.
Esse é o jogo novo.
Voracious and Ruinous Atacan are both getting removed.
Aqui a tradução funciona, né?
Void objectives are getting adjusted, and there are plenty of other jungle and gameplay changes, improvements to bounty system and griefing detection systems, and we are even getting a new UI for the dev screen that will allow
Olha que
spectating
diferente.
your teammates. In Season 2, we'll also get a new champion, and her name will be Yunara. She will be released in Act 2, so either late June or July, but for now Riot hasn't revealed more information about her. Now let's look at the Summoner's Rift, as this season we are entering Spirit Blossom Beyond. Just like in Season 1, the actual terrain isn't changed. The change is purely cosmetic. There will be plenty of Spirit Blossom skins coming this
skinzinho que nós
season,
viu.
and of course, we'll get a new Exalted skin, this time for Morgana. And thankfully, after a very long await, Lux is finally getting a new skin. Now let's talk about...
Lux finalmente receberá uma nova skin. Você tá de brincadeira, irmão? Você tá de brincadeira? É o boneco que mais tem skin do jogo, velho. Finalmente receberá uma nova. Esse cara tá tirando, guys. Olha.
gameplay changes.
Nossa,
First
vai
one
alterar
is
meu exame
already
aqui,
in
hein,
Trump
velho.
Select. Only junglers
Meu
will be
amigo.
able to take smite, and it will be assigned to them automatically. No more chance to forget your smite.
É meme da
Riot
Heart.
is also adding the ability to swap roles in Champ Select. Furthermore, when the game starts, supports will be automatically given the World Atlas
O
item.
bagulho do
All
itemzinho,
of these
né?
changes should hopefully reduce the amount of griefed games. What about Atakan? Voracious and Ruinous Atakan are getting replaced by a single form, Formbound Atakan. He will spawn Bloody Roses
Acho que essa forma única do ataque eles acertaram também,
near where
velho.
kill have happened and around his pit. It will also have a new reward. Team who
Valeu,
slays
hein, Lou,
Atakan
pelos 2
will
meses,
get
meu
any
lindo.
remaining Bloody Roses on the map immediately, along with a bonus.
Ah, e você vai fazer e vai receber as rosas junto. Isso era importante também, velho.
All of their Bloody Petals will be purified into Spirit Petals, which grant 25% increased effect. The team that slays Atakan will
Ah, peraí. Todas as rosas do mapa, elas serão coletadas, é isso? Até as que tá na PQP, velho?
also get Spiritual
Se
Purification.
for... Mano, o bagulho vai dar muita vantagem, velho.
This means that on takedown, they bless the area, slowing and damaging other enemies, as well as granting their team a Spirit Petal. Just like before, Atakan will spawn either top or bot, so that part is unchanged, but in this season there will be only one form. Now let's have a look at the adjustments to the Void objectives. Riot has decided to remove the second Void Grab spawn. Void Grabs will spawn only once, and that will happen at 10 minutes into the game.
10
If you
minutos,
kill all
legal.
3 Void Grabs, you will get 1 Void Might buff. Rift Herald spawn time has also been moved. She will now spawn at 15 minutes. Furthermore,
Show.
Shelly's Gaze effect is being removed. It was the debuff that reduced the damage dealt to Herald by 50%. It will now be easier to kill Herald, and soloing Herald in particular will be much more possible. Now let's have a closer look at a brand new game mode called Brawl. Brawl is a fast-paced, action-focused 5v5 game mode. In this mode you can pick whatever champion you want. It's played on a bundle city map called the Bundlewood. In this game mode there aren't any turret or other major objectives. Each team starts the game with 250 health. To win, you need to reduce the opponent's health to 0. Killing enemy
Ah, deu pra
champions
entender
does
isso aí.
5 damage to the enemy team. If the enemy team is not at low health, killing enemy minions also does 1 damage. And then finally, pushing your minion into your opponent's bundle portal does 1 damage each. Outside of the
Certo.
lane, there will be powerful buffs to be acquired. They not only provide buff and some gold, but also allow more playstyles to be viable and create more dynamic fights. To spend the gold or heal in this game mode, you can either recall or walk back to the base. If one team is destroying the other, there will be a comeback buff that will potentially allow you to turn the game around. It will increase your damage dealt and decrease the damage taken. That being said, most of the time the winning team should still win. So in short, this game mode is all about pushing minions and fighting each other. Now let's talk a little bit about dev screen. Finally, after so many...
É, esse da tela da morte parece que ele vai te dar um novo spec pra você poder ficar mudando, não é? Quer
years,
ver?
the dev
Se liga.
screen is being updated. As Riot is saying,
Ah lá, aí tipo você muda, quero ter lá o Yas, quero ter lá esse, clicando.
goodbye gray screen,
Ó.
hello slightly less gray screen. What is most important here is that during your gray screen, you will have an option to spectate your ally. Speaking of player satisfaction,
legal.
League is also going to add new sound effects to spice most satisfying League moments. You can expect new sound effects on stuff like getting multi-kills, so hopefully your pentakill will be more exciting. Then, let's talk
Igual
about
os barulhinhos das proezas. Eu gosto aquele das 3 kills. Ele dá um barulhinho
briefing
mó
detection
gostoso.
system. Riot is expanding their automatic detection systems around things like trolling or griefing. This updated system should do a better job at detecting things like Disco Nunu following your jungler. Riot is estimating that the amount of players who will get banned for game-ruining behavior will increase by about 10 times. Additionally,
10 vezes mais, mano.
when you
Caralho.
receive report
Que o jogador troll vai ser banido.
feedback for this type of behavior, it will include the name of the offender. And then, the bounty system is also getting updated. Champion bounties are getting suppressed unless it's...
Cara, será que isso não é perigoso do jogo morrer, velho? Ah lá, até F-Given estão mandando no chat, mano. Imagina. Às vezes o Given vai estar fazendo lá o desafio do 010, a Rito vai achar que tá trolando. Ban.
certain that your team is winning.
F-Ciência,
So now,
F
in
tudo.
order to get a bonus gold from
Mano.
bounty, you will clearly need to be on the winning team. What do you guys think about these changes? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.
Legal, legal. Essa aqui foi só pra dar um complemento a mais aí, galera.